Okay. Okay. So good morning to all of you. So in the last lecture, we have started reverse Carnot cycle, and we have seen the PV as well as TS diagram for the reverse Carnot cycle also. So as we are knowing that reverse Carnot cycle is consisting of four processes or four thermodynamic processes. Out of two are out of that two are isentropic processes, and those isentropic processes are also called as a reversible adiabatic processes. And whatever remaining two processes are there, those are nothing but the reversible isothermal processes. And out of that four processes, first process is nothing but isentropic compression process, that is called as a 1 to 2 process. Second process, that is nothing but 2 to 3 process, is called as a isothermal compressor heat rejection process. The next one is nothing but isentropic expansion process, and last one is nothing but isothermal expansion heat addition process. And for these four processes, we have seen the PV as well as TS diagram. I have told you how to draw PV as well as TS diagram for those processes. So whenever we want to draw the PV and TS diagram, we have to see what is the effect of those processes. What is the effect of those processes on the four parameter. First one is nothing but pressure. Second one is nothing but volume. Third one temperature, and fourth one is nothing but the entropy. And by seeing those effect of those processes on those four parameter, we have drawn the all those four processes on the PV as well as TS diagram. Out of that, whenever we have drawn the isentropic compression process, whenever we have drawn first process, that is nothing but isentropic compression process on the PV as well as TS diagram, then the isentropic compression process on the PV diagram was likewise, and isentropic compression process on the TS diagram was vertical straight line in the upward direction. So this is nothing but the isentropic compression process. So as the name itself is isentropic, that is nothing but reversible adiabatic. So as adiabatic process is there, that's why no heat will be absorbed during this process, or no heat will be rejected during this process in the system or towards the system. So this is the isentropic compression process on the PV as well as TS diagram. The next process is nothing but isothermal compressor or isothermal compression heat rejection process. So isothermal compression heat rejection process, as the word isothermal is indicating constant temperature, compressor is indicating increasing pressure, decreasing volume, and as heat rejection is there, that's why entropy will go on decreasing. So by looking the effect of this process on the four parameter, that is nothing but PV, TS, pressure, volume, temperature, and entropy, we can draw the isothermal compression heat rejection process. Isothermal compression heat rejection process in this way. So this is nothing but the isothermal compression heat rejection process. This is nothing but the isothermal compression heat rejection process. So, hello, whether my voice is audible? Hello, whether PPTs are PPT is visible and my voice is audible? Can anyone reply me? Because this is the first time we are using the Zoom. Hence, before we were using the Google Meet. That's why, as we are using the Zoom first time, that's why I'm not knowing much of the features of this Zoom meeting. So whenever there will be any difficulty, you can tell me. Okay. So this is the isothermal compression heat rejection process on the PV diagram. So we have drawn this process at a constant temperature line. And as this is the compression process, that's why pressure will go on decreasing, volume will go on, pressure will go on increasing, volume will go on decreasing. Same process on the TS diagram can be drawn likewise. So isothermal compression heat rejection process, isothermal compression heat rejection process will be drawn likewise on the TS diagram. As the word isothermal is there, that's why constant temperature line. That's why horizontal line will be there pointing towards the left side. Why pointing towards the left side? Because of this heat rejection process. Because of this heat rejection process, the value of entropy during this process should goes on decreasing. That's why this will be 2 to 3 process. Now next process, that is nothing but process 3 to 4. So process 3 to 4 is called as the isentropic expansion process. Here again, word isentropic is there. The meaning of isentropic is nothing but entropy remains constant. And as another word is nothing but expansion. So at a constant entropy, expansion of that gas or expansion of that refrigerant will take place. And because of expansion, here pressure of that refrigerant or pressure of that air, if I'm considering air as a refrigerant or if I'm considering paper as a refrigerant, so whatever I'm telling, that will be applicable for any of the refrigerant. Refrigerant may be air, refrigerant may be any of the paper. So here, as this is the isentropic process, that's why entropy remains constant, and at constant entropy, expansion process takes place. And as expansion is there, that's why value of pressure will goes on decreasing, whereas value of volume will goes on increasing. That's why the isentropic expansion process, nature of isentropic expansion process on the PV diagram will be likewise, and this will be 3 to 4 process. This will be 3 to 4 process. And as the word is isentropic, that is reversible adiabatic, hence no heat will be added to the system or no heat will be rejected from the system during this process. So this is the PV diagram for isentropic expansion. That is nothing but 3 to 4 process. Now same process, that is isentropic expansion process, I need to draw on the TS diagram. So word is isentropic, that's why entropy remains constant. That means vertical line on this TS diagram will indicate the isentropic process. But as for this process, third point is the starting point, fourth point is the ending point. And as expansion is there, that's why during expansion, temperature of that gas or temperature of that air will goes on decreasing. That's why that process will be drawn likewise. So here, this 3 to 4 process, will indicate isentropic expansion process or nature of isentropic expansion process on the TS diagram. Are you getting? Now last process is nothing but process 4 to 1. Here point number 4 will be the starting point, point number 1 will be the ending point, and the name of process is nothing but isothermal expansion heat addition process. Out of that, first word is nothing but isothermal. Meaning of isothermal is nothing but temperature should remains constant. So at a constant temperature, expansion process should take place. Expansion means value of pressure should goes on decreasing. Value of pressure should goes on decreasing. Value of volume should goes on increasing. And value of temperature should goes on decreasing. But here, as there is a heat rejection process, value of temperature remains constant. So to consider or to find out the effect on entropy, as this is the heat addition process. So during heat addition process at a constant temperature line or at a constant temperature, the value of entropy should goes on increasing. So by considering this four parameter, we can draw the isothermal compression heat addition process. Isothermal compression heat addition process on the PV diagram in this fashion. That is nothing but process 4 to 1. Process 4 to 1, that will be called as a isothermal compression heat addition process. And if I want to draw the isothermal expansion heat addition process, this is the process 4 to 1. And if I want to draw isothermal expansion heat addition process on the TS diagram, then that TS diagram will be likewise. So this is nothing but the isothermal expansion. Here by mistakenly this word is compression. So actually this word is isothermal expansion heat addition process. Isothermal expansion heat addition process. Here also by mistakenly I have written this word as a compression. This is the isothermal expansion heat addition process. Are you getting? So this is nothing but the PV as well as TS diagram. This is nothing but the PV as well as TS diagram of a reverse Carnot cycle. So in the last lecture, we have seen up to this point. The last lecture there is talking roll number 51. Samarth Mani Deshmukh, Sohel Shikalgar. Please unmute. Please mute yourself. Samarth. Okay. So this is nothing but the PV as well as TS diagram for reverse Carnot cycle. Now, for what purpose we are drawing the PV as well as TS diagram for any of the system? To analyze that system. To analyze that system, we are drawing that PV as well as TS diagram. Analyze that system is here in this case. Here in this case, we need to find out the value of COP. Here in this case, we have to find out the value of COP of that reverse Carnot cycle. Now, how to find out the value of COP of that reverse Carnot cycle? How to calculate the value of COP? That means here, whatever PV as well as TS diagram we have drawn for a reverse Carnot cycle, the main purpose of drawing that PV as well as TS diagram was to analyze this system. To analyze this system is we have to calculate the value of COP. We have to calculate the value of COP of this system. So how to calculate COP of any of the refrigeration system? So we are knowing the formula for COP or definition of COP. What is the definition of COP? COP is nothing but a ratio of refrigerating effect divided by work done. Ratio of refrigerating effect divided by work done. That is the formula for COP. Now, here, as this is the refrigeration process, that's why refrigerating effect in this case, what will be the refrigerating effect? Refrigerating effect is nothing but how much amount of heat will be absorbed. How much amount of heat will be absorbed during the process 4 to 1. So here, refrigerating effect is nothing but amount of heat absorbed. Amount of heat absorbed divided by work done during the process. Divided by work done during the process. Now, that means by calculation of here, by calculation of value of QA, that is nothing but amount of heat absorption, and by calculation of amount of work done during the process, because this refrigeration process, we are knowing that refrigeration is exactly opposite as that of heat engine. Heat engine was the work producing device. Heat engine was the work producing device. That means during heat engine process or in that heat engine, work will be obtained. Whereas refrigeration is work consuming device. Refrigeration is work consuming device. That means we need to supply the work. We need to supply the external work to carry out that heat from lower temperature region to higher temperature region. Are you getting? That's why here, if I want to calculate the value of COP of this refrigeration system or of this reverse Carnot cycle, then I need to calculate the value of QA. I need to calculate the value of QA. QA is nothing but amount of heat absorption. QA is nothing but amount of heat absorption, and I need to calculate the value of work done during the process. Now, how to calculate the value of QA? Can anyone tell me? How to calculate the value of QA? QA value कशी calculate करता येईल मला? So here I am having two diagrams. First one is called as a PV diagram. Second one is called as a TS diagram. So always remember that here, whatever PV diagram we are drawing, so with the help of that PV diagram for competitive exam, that means multiple choice of question, also this multiple choice of question, this question may be asked. So by using the PV diagram, that means area, by considering the area under PV diagram, we are able to calculate work supplied during the process or work obtained from that system. So to calculate the value of work either supplied or either obtained, always we need to observe the PV diagram. So by analyzing or by considering the area under PV diagram, we will get the work supplied to the system or work obtained from the system. And whatever TS diagram is there, so always we are using that TS diagram to calculate or to obtain amount of heat supplied to the system or amount of heat rejected from the system. ज्या वेळेस आपल्याला amount of heat supplied to the system, amount of heat supplied म्हणजे amount of heat added, QA जर कॅल्क्युलेट करायचं असेल किंवा QS पण म्हणू शकतो त्याला. If you want to calculate the value of heat supplied or heat rejected from the system, then always you need to consider the area under TS diagram. So area under PV diagram always give the work supplied or work obtained, and area under TS diagram always give the now whether PPT is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So because of losing the college internet connectivity, I lost my network. Okay. So now here, if I want to calculate the value of COP for this reverse Carnot cycle, I need to calculate the value of QA and work supplied. So we are knowing that QA, it is nothing but work, heat added during the system or in this system is during the process 4 to 1. Is during the process 4 to 1. So by considering the area under TS diagram, by considering the area under TS diagram during the process 4 to 1, during the process 4 to 1, I am able to calculate the value of amount of heat added during the process 4 to 1. Now here also, to calculate the value of amount of amount of heat added or amount of heat rejected, I will have two options. So first option, I can calculate the value of amount of heat supplied or amount of heat rejected during the process by using the formula as a Q is equal to T into ds. Q is equal to T into ds. That is nothing but we are knowing that amount of heat supplied or amount of heat rejected, that is change in heat, will be calculated by using the formula T into ds. That is, whereas T is nothing but the temperature and ds is nothing but change in entropy. When to use this formula? If during that process temperature remains constant, if during that process temperature remains constant, then and then only we have to use the formula as a Q is equal to T into ds. Otherwise, I have to use the formula as a, if temperature will not remain constant, then I need to use the formula as a mCp delta T. mCp delta T. So either by using this formula or either by using this formula. This is the first formula. This is the second formula. So when to use first formula? If during that process temperature remains constant, then we have to use first formula. If temperature will goes on changing during that process, here which process we need to consider? During the process during which heat will be added. So this is the process 4 to 1. So during the process 4 to 1, heat is being added. That's why we need to consider this process. So here temperature remains constant during process 4 to 1. That's why I have to use the first formula. That is nothing but Q 4 to 1 is nothing but T into ds, whereas ds is nothing but change in entropy. That is nothing but final entropy minus initial entropy. So if temperature will not remain constant during this process 4 to 1, then by instead of using this formula, I might have used this formula mCp delta T, where we need to consider the value of change in temperature also. So here, as process 4 to 1 is isothermal process, that's why to calculate the value of QA, I'm going to consider the area under 4 to 1 process, and by considering the area under 4 to 1 process, I'm going to use the formula as a QA is equal to T into DS. Here, which temperature I need to consider? This temperature is nothing but T1 is equal to T4. So this formula will be either T1 or T4 into DS. DS is nothing but change in entropy. So by this way, I can calculate the value of QA. Now, second thing, I have to calculate the value of work done. Second thing, I have to calculate the value of work done. Now, to calculate the value of work done, I can get the value of work done by considering the area under PV diagram during the process 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That means during this entire process, 1 to 2, 3, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 1. During this entire process, by considering the area under this PV diagram, that means by considering this much area, I am able to calculate the value of work supplied to the system. So that is the one way. And another way, by considering the first law of thermodynamics, as we are knowing that work and heat are interconvertible. So here, during the process 4 to 1, we are adding the heat to the system, and during the process 2 to 3, we are rejecting the heat from the system. And here, amount of or value of heat rejection QR is having higher value as compared to value of QA. So as we are knowing that work and heat are interconvertible. Cyclic integration of work is nothing but cyclic integration of heat according to first law of thermodynamics. So here I can calculate the value of work done by considering the change in heat also. That change in heat is nothing but value of QR, that is nothing but value of amount of heat rejected during the process 2 to 3 and value of amount of heat added during the process 4 to 1. So by this way, we can calculate the value of work done during the process 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, or by considering the area under this diagram or area under PV diagram, we can calculate the value of work done. Here, simple way is to calculate the value of work done based on the value of heat rejection and value of heat absorption. Out of that, value of heat absorption already we are calculating. Only by calculation of value of heat rejection, we are able to calculate the value of work done. So same process we are going to follow. So here, as our aim is to calculate the value of COP. So the diagram which I have drawn, PV and TS diagram for reverse Carnot cycle. This will be the PV and TS diagram for reverse Carnot cycle. Now, as we are knowing that during the process 4 to 1, during the process 2 to 3, heat is rejected. That 2 to 3 process मध्ये काय होते, हीट रिजेक्शन होते. त्या ठिकाणी काय होते, हीट रिजेक्शन होते. आणि 4 to 1 मध्ये काय होते, हीट ऍब्झॉर्प्शन होते. बरोबर. त्यामुळे सुरुवातीला मी काय कॅल्क्युलेट करेल, क्यूआर ची व्हॅल्यू कॅल्क्युलेट करेल, परत क्यूए ची व्हॅल्यू कॅल्क्युलेट करेल. क्यूआर ची व्हॅल्यू कॅल्क्युलेट करण्यासाठी कोणता फॉर्म्युला वापरणार आहे, कारण की 2 to 3 मध्ये काय राहते, टेम्परेचर कॉन्स्टंट राहते. त्यामुळे क्यूआर साठी पण काय करणार आहे, आय एम गोइंग टू कन्सिडर द एरिया अंडर TS diagram during the process 2 to 3 आणि area under TS diagram during the process 2 to 3 म्हणजे हा एंटायर एरिया मी कन्सिडर करणार आहे. So this much area I am going to consider to calculate the value of amount of heat rejected. आणि हा व्हॅल्यू ऑफ QR कॅल्क्युलेट केल्यानंतर परत मला काय कॅल्क्युलेट करायचं आहे, QA कॅल्क्युलेट करायचं आहे. आणि QA कोणत्या प्रोसेस मध्ये हीट ऍडिशन होते. So during the process 4 to 1, heat is being added. So to calculate the value of QA, I am going to consider this much area. So this entire area covered by 2 to 3 process minus entire area covered by process 4 to 1. That is nothing but the work done on the system. So here, first of all, we will calculate the value of QR. So to calculate the value of QR, heat rejection during the process 2 to 3, I'm going to use the formula. Which formula I need to use? MCP delta T or T into DS. So as temperature remains constant during the process 2 to 3, that's why I have to use the formula as the T into ds. So I'm going to use the formula as a T into ds. So what is that T? T is nothing but T2 or T3. So Q2 or Q2 to 3, that is nothing but QR, amount of heat rejected. Amount of heat rejected, that is nothing but Q2 to 3 is nothing but T into ds, T into ds, which T I need to consider? That will be either T2 or either T3, because both are having same value. T2 is equal to T3. So T2 into ds. ds is nothing but change in entropy. So which entropy change I am going to consider? Here, higher entropy minus lower entropy. Higher entropy minus lower entropy. Otherwise, you can consider the final entropy minus initial entropy. But in that case, you need to consider the sign of heat also. That means we are knowing that heat supplied to the system will be always considered as a positive, and heat rejected from the system will be always considered as a negative. So here, better way, you can consider ds is nothing but change in entropy in positive direction. So higher entropy is nothing but S2 minus lower entropy is nothing but S3. So this is nothing but the value of QR, that is nothing but amount of heat rejected. In the similar fashion, we can calculate the value of QA. QA is nothing but amount of heat addition. So during which process heat is being added inside the system? During the process 4 to 1. So that is nothing but Q4 to 1. Q4 to 1, and that will be again given by equation T into ds. T into ds. So during this process also, value of temperature remains same, that is nothing but T1 is equal to T4. So I can consider either T1 or T4. So here I will consider T1, and ds is nothing but higher entropy minus lower entropy, that is nothing but S1 minus S4. S1 minus S4. So by this way, I can calculate the value of QR, I can calculate the value of QA, and after calculation of QR and QA, I can calculate the value of work done. So work done is nothing but QR minus QA. QR minus QA. So use the same formula for, or use the formula for QR, use the formula for QA, put those values, you will get the value of work done. You will get the value of work done during the system. Now, as you have calculated the value of work done, as you have calculated the value of QA, put those values in the formula of COP. COP is nothing but QA divided by work done. QA divided by work done. So do the mathematical operation, you will get the final value of COP for reverse Carnot cycle. So same process we are going to follow. First of all, we will calculate the value of amount of heat rejected by that refrigerant during the process 2 to 3, and that value is nothing but area under 2 to 3. Area under 2 to 3, that is nothing but T3 into S2 minus S3. Here value of T2 is equal to T3. That's why that can also be written as a T2 into S2 minus S3. So this is nothing but amount of heat rejected. This is nothing but amount of heat rejected. That is nothing but T2 into S2 minus S3. Same thing we have calculated here. T2 into S2 minus S3. T2 into S2 minus S3. Now, after this, amount of heat rejection is nothing but T2 into S2 minus S3. After this, we will calculate the amount of heat absorbed by that refrigerant. It may be paper. During the process 4 to 1. So to calculate the value of amount of heat absorbed or amount of heat added during the process 4 to 1, I have to consider the area 412-3 dash. So here I will get that value of Q 4 to 1. That is nothing S2 minus S3. So here I am getting this value as a QA T1 S2 minus S3. Same value we have calculated. Here you are getting that value T1. Amount of heat absorption is nothing but T1 S1 minus S4. S1 minus S4. त्या ठिकाणी बघा त्या ठिकाणी मला काय आलं T1 S1 minus S4 कारण की I am knowing that T4 is equal to T1. So here I am getting that T1 S1 minus S4. S1 minus S4. But if you see the TS diagram, process 1 to 2 is isentropic process. That means value of S1 is equal to value of S2. And process 3 to 4 is also isentropic expansion process. That means value of S3 is equal to value of S4. त्या ठिकाणी जर बघितलं तुम्ही त्या ठिकाणी जर बघितलं तर value of S1 because 1 to 2 process is isentropic process, isentropic compression. That's why value of S1 is equal to value of S2. And 3 to 4 process is isentropic expansion process. That means value of S3 is equal to value of S4. That's why instead of S1, you can put the value as a S2, or instead of S3, you can put the value as a S4, or vice versa. So here I have did the same thing. Here I got the formula as a amount of heat absorption as a T4, or QA is nothing but T4 S1 minus S4. So here instead of S1, I can put the value as a S2, and instead of S4, I can put the value as a S3. So finally, I will get the value of QA as a T1 S1 minus S3, as a T1 S1 minus S3. Now after this, after getting value of amount of heat rejection and amount of heat absorption, as we are knowing that value of QR is having greater value as compared to value of QA. That's why after this, I can calculate the value of work done, or net work done during the cycle. After this, I can calculate the value of net work done during the cycle per kg of air, and that will be equal to heat rejection, that is nothing but QR, minus heat absorption, that is nothing but QA. So as we are knowing the formula for QR and QA, put those formulae. So value of QR is nothing but T2 S2 minus S3 minus value of QA is nothing but T1 S2 minus S3. So this is the value of QA. This is the value of QA, and this is the value of QR, which we got in the previous page. So by subtracting this value of QA from QR, I will get the net work done. So this is the net work done during the system 1, 2, 3, 4. That is nothing but in the entire reverse Carnot cycle. Net work done on the system will be equal to T2 minus T1. Here, as S2 minus S3 is the common term. S2 minus S3. This is the common term. That's why I can take that S2 minus S3 as a common, and outside of the bracket, there will be T2 minus T1. T2 minus T1. So net work done during the process is nothing but T2 minus T1 in the one bracket, and into another bracket S2 minus S3. Vivek Ronge, please mute yourself. Okay. So this is the value of net work done. Now after calculation of value of net work done, our main purpose or main aim is to calculate the value of COP of this reverse Carnot cycle. So if I want to calculate the value of COP of this reverse Carnot cycle, then here, as we are knowing that coefficient COP, that is nothing but coefficient of performance of any of the refrigeration system, is given by equation refrigerating effect divided by net work done. So for refrigeration process, refrigerating effect is nothing but amount of heat absorbed divided by net work done, that is nothing but QA divided by W. So put the value of QA, put the value of W. So this is the value of W and value of QA. This is the value of QA. Put both the values in this equation. I will get the value of COP of refrigeration system. So value of COP of this refrigeration system, QA is nothing but T1 S2 minus S3. This is the formula for QA. And work done is nothing but T2 minus T1 S2 minus S3. T2 minus T1 S2 minus S3. So here S2 minus S3 and S2 minus S3, these are the common term. So S2 minus S3 will get cancelled from the numerator as well as denominator. S2 minus S3 will get cancelled from numerator as well as denominator. That's why finally I will get the formula for COP of the refrigeration system. COP of the refrigeration system by using reverse Carnot cycle is nothing but T1 divided by T2 minus T1. T1 divided by T2 minus T1. What is the meaning of T1 and what is the meaning of T2? Here only two terms are there, based on which the value of COP of reverse Carnot cycle depends. Out of that, first term is nothing but T1. First term is nothing but T1 and second term is nothing but T2. Now, what is the meaning of T1 and what is the meaning of T2? So, can anyone tell me what is the meaning of T1 and what is the meaning of T2? So, meaning of T1 and T2. Here, this is the value of T1. T1 is nothing but equal to T4. This is the value of T1. This is the value of T2, which is equal to T3. So T1 is nothing but the lowest temperature. T1 is nothing but, here if you see temperature, here this is the T1, T2, T3, T4. Out of that, T1 is nothing but the lowest temperature which is maintained inside the refrigeration system. T1 is nothing but the lowest temperature which is maintained inside the refrigeration system, and T2, which is equal to T3, is nothing but the highest temperature at which heat will be rejected to the surrounding. T1 is nothing but the lowest temperature which is maintained inside the refrigeration system at which heat is being absorbed, and T2 is nothing but the highest temperature in the refrigeration system at which heat will be rejected. So if you see, the COP of reverse Carnot cycle is depend only on two parameters. Only on two parameters. Out of that, first one is nothing but the T1 and second one is nothing but the T2. Whereas T1 is nothing but the lowest temperature. T1 is nothing but the lowest temperature inside the refrigeration system at which heat is being absorbed. At which heat is being absorbed. Wait, okay. Here T1 is nothing but lowest temperature in the refrigeration system at which heat is being absorbed, and T2 is nothing but the highest temperature. T2 is nothing but the highest temperature in the refrigeration system at which heat will be rejected. So COP of reverse Carnot cycle is depending upon only two parameters, T1 and T2. So if you see the beauty of this reverse Carnot cycle, beauty of this reverse Carnot cycle is that the COP of reverse Carnot cycle is depend only on two parameters, that is nothing but lowest temperature which is maintained in the refrigeration system, highest temperature at which heat is rejected from that refrigeration system. It is not depend upon COP of refrigeration system of reverse Carnot cycle is not depend upon the refrigerant or the capacity of that refrigeration system. Whatever may be the refrigerant, though you are going to use air as a refrigerant, though you are going to use R134A as a refrigerant, or though you are going to use R500 as a refrigerant, whatever may be the refrigerant, in spite or irrespective of refrigerant which we are using inside the reverse Carnot cycle, the COP will depend only on two parameters, that is nothing but lowest temperature which we are maintaining, that is nothing but T2, T1, and highest temperature at which we are rejecting the heat, that is nothing but T2. Are you getting? That's why the value of COP of reverse Carnot cycle is having the highest possible value of COP for reverse Carnot cycle. Now, if I want to use or if I want to increase the value of COP of that reverse Carnot cycle, How can I increase the value of COP of that reverse Carnot cycle? जर मला रिव्हर्स Carnot सायकलची जर COP इन्क्रीज करायची असेल तर कोणत्या पॅरामीटर मध्ये मला चेंज करायला पाहिजे? Can anyone tell me how to increase the COP of reverse Carnot cycle? So there are two possible ways. There are two possible ways by which we are able to increase the value of COP of that reverse Carnot cycle. Can anyone tell me which are these ways or which are those ways? How can I increase the value of COP of reverse Carnot cycle? Can anyone tell me? Increasing heat absorption. Okay. Any another? Any another option? So as we are knowing that the value of COP of reverse Carnot cycle is depend only on two parameters. Out of that, first parameter is nothing but T1, which is at numerator, and second parameter is nothing but T2, which is at denominator. So here, if I want to increase the value of COP of that reverse Carnot cycle, then either I need to increase the numerator, or either I need to decrease the denominator. Either I need to increase the numerator or either I need to decrease the denominator. So how can I increase the numerator? So by keeping T2 as a constant parameter, if I'm going to use or if I'm going to increase the value of T1, then automatically value of COP of that reverse Carnot cycle will goes on increasing. Or else, if I want to keep T1 as a constant parameter, then by decreasing the value of T2, as I am decreasing the value of T2 by keeping T1 as a constant, that's why value of denominator will also goes on decreasing. The net effect will be to decrease the value of denominator, and as value of denominator is decreasing, that's why value of COP will also goes on increasing. How this is happening? If I'm considering 10 divided by suppose 4. So here, if I want to increase the COP, I will have two options. If I want to keep the denominator as a constant parameter, then I have to increase the numerator, that is 12 divided by 4. In this case, the value of COP will go on increasing. Otherwise, another option is nothing but by keeping the numerator same. If I will decrease the denominator, in this case also, the value of COP will go on increasing. Are you getting? So there are two possible ways to increase the value of COP of reverse Carnot cycle. So as COP is depend upon two parameters, T1 lower temperature, that is nothing but temperature which is to be maintained, T2 higher temperature at which heat is rejected. So by either increasing the lower temperature, that means by increasing the value of T1 or by decreasing the value of T2, the COP of reverse Carnot cycle may be improved by decreasing the higher temperature, that is hot body temperature, that is nothing but the value of T2. And second way, by increasing the cold body temperature, that is nothing but value of T1. By increasing the cold body temperature, that is nothing but T1. So by this way, I can increase the value of COP of reverse Carnot cycle. Now, my question is that I'm having one refrigerator. Same refrigerator, and I'm using this refrigerator in the winter season. And same refrigerator I'm using for the same application in the summer season. That means my application is suppose maintaining 10 degrees centigrade. in winter season also, in summer season also, to maintain the 10 degree centigrade. So same refrigerator for same purpose I am using in the winter season as well as I am using in the summer season. Then my question is, in which case, that means in winter season or in summer season, in which case the value of COP will be higher, or the value of COP of that refrigerator will be same if that refrigerator is working on reverse Carnot cycle. कोणत्या केस मध्ये COP ची व्हॅल्यू जास्त असेल, काय सांगता येईल कोणाला? In which case the value of COP will be higher. सेम रेफ्रिजरेटर आहे, सेम ऍप्लिकेशन साठी मी यूज करतोय, फक्त काय करतोय, तोच रेफ्रिजरेटर मी विंटर सीझन मध्ये यूज करतोय, तोच रेफ्रिजरेटर सेम ऍप्लिकेशन साठी समर सीझन मध्ये यूज करतोय. तर कोणत्या केसमध्ये व्हॅल्यू ऑफ COP जास्त असेल, की व्हॅल्यू ऑफ COP सेम राहील? काय होईल सांगा लवकर. Can anyone tell me the answer? त्या ठिकाणी जर बघितलं, दोन्हीचं ऍप्लिकेशन सेमच आहे, म्हणजे 10 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेडच मेंटेन करतोय आपण रेफ्रिजरेटर मध्ये, म्हणजे T1 ची व्हॅल्यू काय करतोय आपण, कॉन्स्टंट ठेवतोय. T1 ची व्हॅल्यू काय करतोय, कॉन्स्टंट ठेवतोय. पण ज्या सराउंडिंगला आपण हीट रिजेक्ट करतोय, म्हणजे T2 ची जर व्हॅल्यू बघितली, सराउंडिंगला आपण हीट रिजेक्शन करतोय, म्हणजे T2 म्हणजे काय झालं, सराउंडिंग टेम्परेचर झालं, किंवा टेम्परेचर ऍट विच हीट इज बिंग रिजेक्टेड, टेम्परेचर ऑफ ऍटमॉस्फिअर टू विच हीट इज रिजेक्टेड. तर विंटर सीझन मध्ये T2 ची व्हॅल्यू, सराउंडिंग टेम्परेचरची व्हॅल्यू काय असणार आहे, कमी असणार आहे, आणि समर सीझन मध्ये T2 ची सराउंडिंग टेम्परेचरची व्हॅल्यू काय असणार आहे, जास्त असणार आहे. त्यामुळे विंटर मधला COP जो असणार आहे तो काय असणार आहे, जास्त असणार आहे ऍज कम्पेअर टू समर मधला. सो हिअर COP in case of winter season, COP in case of winter season will have the higher value of the same refrigerator which is used for same application as compared to COP in case of summer season. Why this is so? Because value of T2 in case of winter season will have the lower value as compared to value of T2 in case of summer season. Are you getting? Now, in the same fashion, another example. If I'm using the air conditioner, and suppose the application of air conditioner is same, or here another example, if I'm considering the COP of Carnot refrigerator, which is used for making ice at 0 degree centigrade, and another example is nothing but refrigerator which is used in case of air conditioning plant to maintain 20 degree centigrade. So here value of T1 in case of first application, Carnot refrigerator used for making ice, in that first application value of T1 is equal to 0 degree centigrade. Value of T1 is equal to 0 degree centigrade where we are using the, or where we are making the ice. And in second application we are using that refrigerator for obtaining 20 degree centigrade. That means value of T1 is nothing but 20 degree centigrade. So though the outer temperature is same, T2 ची व्हॅल्यू जरी सेम राहत असली तरी पण ह्या ठिकाणी काय, T1 ची व्हॅल्यू कोणत्या केसमध्ये वाढलेली आहे, सेकंड केसमध्ये वाढलेली आहे. दॅट्स वाय हिअर refrigerator which is used for air conditioning plant at 20 degree centigrade will have the higher value of COP as compared to refrigerator which is used for making the ice at 0 degree centigrade. Making the ice at 0 degree centigrade. Are you getting? So these are the two examples where you can elaborate, or where you can see that how we are able to increase the COP of reverse Carnot cycle. COP of reverse Carnot cycle. So here as the time is 11:30, so we need to close our lecture, or we need to end our lecture. So I will take the attendance. You have to give the attendance. After giving the attendance, you can exit the lecture. Wait for 1 minute. Today's date is 4 October. Time 10:30, 11:30. Okay, give the attendance. Roll number 1,
Present, sir.
2, 2 absent, 3 absent, 4 absent, 5. Roll number 5 absent. Roll number 6. Roll number 6 absent. 7 absent. 8.
Present, sir.
Okay. 9. Roll number 9. Okay. Roll number 9.
Sir.
10 absent. 11.
Yes, sir. Present.
12 absent. 13 absent. 14 absent. 15
Present, sir.
16 absent. 17
Present, sir.
18 absent. 19 absent. 20
Present, sir.
21 absent. 22 absent. 23 absent. 24 absent. 24 23 present. Okay.
23 present, sir.
Okay. 24 absent. 25
Present, sir.
26 absent. 27
Present, sir.
28 absent. 29 absent. 30 absent. 31 absent. 32 absent. 33 absent. 34
Present, sir.
35
Present, sir.
36 absent. 37 absent. 38 absent. 39 absent. 40 absent. 41 absent. 42
Present, sir.
43
Yes, sir.
43 44
Yes, sir.
45
Yes, sir.
46
Yes, sir.
47 absent. 48 absent. 49
Yes, sir.
50
Yes, sir.
51
Yes, sir.
52 roll number 52 absent. 53
Present, sir.
54 absent. 55 absent. 56 absent. 57 absent. 58 absent. 59 absent. Roll number 60 absent. 61 absent. 62
Present, sir.
63 absent. 64
Yes, sir.
65
Present, sir.
66 roll number 66 absent. 67
Present, sir.
okay. 68 absent. 69 absent. 70 absent. 71 absent. 72 absent. 72 okay, present. 73 roll number 73 74 75 76 okay. Absent number roll number 2 3 4 5 6 7 roll number 7 okay, 7 present. Then roll number 10 12 13 14 16 18 19 21 22 24 26 28 29 30 31 32 33 36 37 38 39 40 41 47 48 52 54 55 56 57 58 59 60 61 63 66 68 69 70 71 then 73, 74, 75, 76. These are the absent number. Okay. Now you can exit the lecture. Thank you for attending the lecture.